What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to make a video to address one of the biggest issues that I'm seeing among beginners who are looking to start an AI automation agency that is preventing you from being able to sign your first client. Now, this is a very easy fix once you've highlighted it and you have a plan to attack it with, but I keep getting the same questions over and over in my community, so I thought what better way to address it all in one go than create a video here, because it's obviously a very common issue. So within this video, I'm going to be identifying the problem for you. I'm going to be showing you how you can get past it and the exact steps you need to take in order to solve this issue. And at the end of the video, I'm going to be walking you through the 4 most common beginner mistakes that I see when people are setting up systems to deal with this issue. So I'm really excited to jump into this, and I think many of you are going to benefit from this a huge amount, because it's something that within my own case study, it was an issue that I had to solve, and it immediately made things so much easier for me to do. I'm super excited to be getting this out, because this is actually one of the key things that I had to fix in my 0 to 10K case study, which is up there if you haven't seen the first episode. But by fixing this part in the challenge, it was able to basically instantly allow me to start signing clients. So within a few days of making these changes that you're about to be walked through, I was able to sign 3 clients in 2 days. So let's jump straight into it. If you're new to the channel, my name is Ottley. I'm the creator of the AI automation agency model. I have my own AI development company and AI automation agency called Morningside AI, and we currently do around $100,000 per month in revenue. I own and operate the largest community of AI automation agency owners, and I also have the #1 platform and resource for creating an AI business called my AAA Accelerator. So beyond those, we have over 35,000 community members, all learning to start and scale their own AI automation agency. So this is where I'm getting all of my information from, and I also do case studies and things like this on the channel as well. So the information I'm about to tell you comes from my experience of running my own AI automation agency, helping thousands of students within my community, and running my own case studies to really walk with you step by step through this process of creating your own AI automation agency. So the #1 question I get in my community is this: hey guys, I've just managed to get my first couple of sales calls booked in, but I have no idea what I'm supposed to say or what I'm supposed to do on these calls. Can anyone help? Now, you may have been in this exact same position yourself. I certainly was very recently when doing my 0 to 10K case study, but this comes down to the issue behind this is that you haven't actually defined your sales process. You don't know what the customer journey is from a lead all the way through to a closed and paying customer. So while the people asking these questions have obviously done something right in order to be able to get someone to book in a call, they are missing sort of the structural underpinning that allows this entire process to work from start to finish. And this is your sales process, and this is something that you need to have established fairly early on in your process of starting your own AI automation agency. Now, what does a sales process look like? What's an example of it? What are the different stages that you need to be aware of, and how do you actually plan to make this as effective as possible? So when it comes to creating the sales process, or really a customer journey is what it really is, many of you are going to have your customers starting as just a lead on a list, a line on a spreadsheet, and then your job is to move them through the different stages of your sales process. You're going to take them from the list, you're going to put it into some software, maybe put it into your email outreach software, and you're going to send them a message. What are you trying to do from that message to the next point? Okay, I might be trying to book in a call with them next. Okay, when I get on that call, what am I actually doing? Okay, I'm actually going to try and book them for another call. And once I get them on this last call, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to close them, but I'm trying to take this angle. After the call, I'm going to be sending them the contract via this. And then when I close them, I'm going to add them into Slack like this. So this is the entire sales process that you need to actually give real thought to how you're going to plan it out. Now, taking this back to my 0 to 10K case study, I had the exact same kind of issue as many of the people who are asking these questions, which is I would get on a call, or I'd be ready and preparing for a call, and I'd be thinking to myself, okay, what am I trying to close them on this call? Or am I booking in another call? Hang on, what am I actually going for the offer here? Am I really trying to close them or not? So these kind of things, not having them prepared before the call is going to put you in a terrible position, because you don't even know what you're aiming for by the end of it. Many of you have probably heard the saying to sell the appointment, not the service. So this definitely applies as well, and it goes to more your sort of outreach side of things. So when you're reaching out to customers and when you're making that first point of contact, what's your objective in that message? And if you're doing cold email or you're doing a cold DMs on Instagram, what is the objective of that first message, and how does that play into your entire sales process? So you need to write this whole thing down and go, okay, they are leads here. Then I'm going to contact them via Instagram, and I'm going to send them this kind of message, taking this angle with this kind of pitch, right? So getting very granular with this. Now I'll put some examples up on screen that I got from my 0 to 10K case study, where I really broke it down into, okay, this is step 1. I'm doing cold email outreach as step 1. The objective is for me to get a response back saying that they are interested, thereby taking them from a just a lead to a qualified lead, meaning they are interested or have shown interest in my product. And then once they've replied with yes, okay, then I'm going to send them some more info in the form of sending them to my landing page. And then I'm going to push them also to book in a call. So that's the next step. I'm going to send them information, and then I'm going to try to get them to book in a call. And then when they get on that discovery call, I'm going to come with this sort of information, and I'm trying to push for this kind of conversion. Am I trying to close them on the first call, or am I trying to get a second call booked up and just collect information on that first call so that I can go for the close on the second one? So there's a lot of different variables and a lot of different ways you can do this, but it is so important for you to lay things out early on so that you know what you're doing. To be clear, your sales process is likely going to change a lot through the different phases of your business, but for the time being, I want to focus on you getting your first client, and so the sales process for you getting your first client is going to be different to that when you're scaling and you're really doing numbers. So at least for now, this is what I would recommend for you to be able to sign your first client, and at least this is what worked for me in the 0 to 10K case study. So the first step in your sales process is likely going to be some kind of cold outreach via email, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc. But the goal of that should not be to close them. Again, you're trying to sell them their meeting, or in this case, you're just trying to get them to reply that they are interested. So don't put any links in it. Don't be sending them to your website. Don't do anything. Just say, this is what I'm selling, or this is the kind of results I can get for your business, or this is how I've helped prior businesses within your niche. Would you be interested in me shooting over a little bit more info? And that's all you're trying to get. That is the objective of step one, which takes you on to the next step, which is, okay, they've replied. Now they're an interested and qualified lead. What am I actually going to send them back in order to get them onto the next step? And the next step is typically going to be booking in a call. So maybe we can send some kind of demo. I can go, sure, I'll shoot you over a demo of my system or of my AI solution that you can take a look at in this Loom video. I'm going to shoot over a Loom link to them, and I'll also say, if you want to hop on a call and learn more about how we can set this up for your business, please book in a call here. So that's step two. We've got a response, and then we're going to send them more info in the form of a demo with a link to book in with us afterwards. So that's step one and step two complete. And then when they book in the call and you get to step three, you need to be clear, what am I actually trying to achieve on this call? Okay, I'm going to be getting to know the client. I'm going to be doing some exploration and sort of requirement gathering and learning more about their business, so that at the end of the call I can say, hey, that's great. I'm going to go and put together a plan for you now, and then we can touch base in a few days from now, and we can get another meeting booked in, and then we can move forward from there. So the objective of your first call may just be to get familiar, to get some information on their business, and then to book in another meeting that you're hoping to close them on in the next few days. So on the call, you can say, hey, look, let's book a meeting in for a couple of days. Does this time work? Sure, I've just sent you the invite, and send the invite on the call. And then on that second call, you may be like, okay, I'm going for the close here. The objective of this call is to close them. And in that case, you can present them with your plan and your sort of proposal. Then at the end of the call, you can say, look, if everything's all good, are we happy to move forward? And if they say yes, then you can either try to contract and invoice them on the call, which is definitely a method that people like to use. Or you can say, look, I'll shoot this over in a second, and then you can just send some follow-up emails if they don't reply. So when you lay it out like that, you can see that each part of your sales process has a very, very specific function and a objective to it. And I think this is the issue that many people have, and they have those kind of questions. Hey, look, I've got them on the call, but I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know what to say, etc. So laying out your sales process like that is going to be a huge assistance to you as you go through the different parts of it, and knowing what part as what function and where you're trying to take customers as soon as you get on those calls. Now I want to jump into the 4 most common mistakes that I see beginners make when it comes to creating their sales processes. Firstly, and I did touch on it before, but beginners tend to try to sell the service as soon as possible, and sort of right off the bat they're trying to sell their services, but in reality you should be trying to sell the meeting, or in this case we're just trying to get a positive reply from them before we then go and try to sell the meeting. So going straight in and trying to sell your services directly and hitting them with a cold hard offer is likely not going to, it's going to give you terrible response rates, because people don't like being sold straight away. You need to really warm them up to the idea and build up some trust, because people are going to be giving you their money. They want to trust you and be familiar with who you are. So trying to sell them on a lower risk and lower investment offer for them to just hop on a 15-minute call with you or just reply yes is a much lower commitment than putting some money down directly or doing something and buying your services directly. So by dragging out the actual ask of what you're trying to sell them until the very end on that sales call, you're getting them to commit, and psychologically they're committing all of this time and mental energy of considering your services right to the very end. They have committed that much, they are much, much more likely to convert and to be a paying customer. This is actually a psychological principle that you can leverage in basically any area of your life. The second issue that I see a lot is people talking too much about me, or I can, I this, I that, etc. Making it too focused on you and not about them. They don't care about you. They definitely don't care about you as some random person in their inbox trying to sell them something. So if you can, try to make it very, very focused on them and their benefits rather than a big sales pitch about your services, right? And that's why we try to pop into the inbox with a short message and saying, hey, there's this sort of thing, I've helped this. Would you be interested in seeing a demo of this and how it can help your business, right? So again, by talking about them as much as possible, you're maximizing your chances of them actually giving you the time of day, because as soon as they start reading a sales pitch and saying, I do this and I can do this, etc., you're selling them and they don't like that and you're likely not going to get a response. So try to focus on talking about them and how it can benefit them directly rather than you and all of the amazing things that you do and why you're such a big shot. Thirdly, another big mistake that beginners make is not researching the prospect before you get on a call with them. Now, this is a super, super easy and straightforward way for you to stand out above the crowd. And I mean, selling a lot of these AI related services right now, there's not even a crowd to stand above, but it's just, they're going to compare you against the other sales calls and other things that have been pitched to them in the past. And if you are able to come onto the sales calls with pages and pages and pages of notes, or a clear strategy and a plan about how you're going to do this, say, hey, I noticed this about your website and this about your Instagram, and when I was checking out, I noticed this, and this. Do your research and really blow them away. This is your chance to come across as someone who cares about their business. And this is directly applicable from things like SMMA. The clients, the people and the businesses who are able to sign the biggest clients and get the big juicy retainers are the ones who are able to do super, super personalized, in-depth research in order to bring to the sales calls to impress the business owner and say, wow, these guys actually care. We haven't even paid them a dime and they've done all of this for us. Now imagine if we're actually paying them. So if you can channel some of that and do your research before you hop on the sales calls and really blow them away with the amount of attention to detail and the amount of care that you really have for helping them succeed, then that's going to help you massively in these sales calls. And finally, number 4 is not leveraging multiple channels. Now, when you are doing your outreach and trying to contact leads and as part of your sales process of where you're hitting them and at what times, you can go beyond just using one specific channel. I know it's very easy to go, okay, I have my lead list, now I'm just emailing them until I get a response and I can close them. But if you want to be, particularly if you have a really, really concentrated or good list of high quality prospects, actually doing multiple channel prospecting, multi-channel prospecting and saying, okay, I'm going to match this email lead up with their LinkedIn profile and I'm also going to try hit them with a DM, or I'm going to pick up the phone and call them. You can have multiple different touch points and say, okay, I'm going to shoot them an email and then I'm going to call them 2 days later, say, hey, I shot you an email, did you get a chance to see? Or you can then follow up with a LinkedIn message, hey, I tried to call you today, but you didn't pick up, etc. And start to hit them on multiple different angles, and then you're going to increase the chances that you're going to be seen, and then increases the chances that you actually sign them as a client. So this is definitely one that can be a little bit more tricky to do because it's not as automated. It's just importing a list to instantly and blasting out some emails. But if you do have leads that are worthwhile and you've found someone that you really want to try to work over a longer time, I mean, you guys only need 1 or 2 clients in order to get started. So it might even be worth your time focusing on a handful of really, really ideal prospects that you're able to find and say, look, these guys would be perfect for my business, perfect for my solution. I'm going to really focus on just working these 5 and hitting them from different angles until I can get their attention. So again, multi-channel prospecting is a huge thing. And as you look to scale and build out an actual sales team, this is going to be something you're doing more and more often. So guys, that's about it for sales processes and planning your customer journey. Now, this is absolutely crucial that you do this process before you start doing your outreach, because if you write an entire email campaign and it starts going out, but you haven't actually thought very, very carefully about what you're trying to get out of that email campaign or out of those DMs, then it's not going to sort of cohesively link into your entire sales process. So get out your notebook or go onto Figma and start to plan this out and say, step 1, I'm contacting them, I'm doing cold outreach. What am I trying to do in this first step? What is the objective of this message? Okay, it's to get a reply. Okay, now that I've got a reply, what am I trying to do here? I'm going to send them more info in the form of a demo or a Loom or something. And then I'm going to send them the booking link. So the objective here is to get a call booked in and provide more information on what we do. Get them excited, really. And then once you have them on the call, what is the objective of the first call? You might even be going for a 1-call close. Again, if you're offering your services for free to begin with, maybe you can get away with a 1-call close. It's totally possible. But then if you want to book in the second one, it's just being clear and very purposeful about what you are doing at each stage so that you don't end up like the people in my community saying, hey, I've just booked in 3 calls, but I have no idea what I'm doing on them and I don't know what the objective is of any of these. So I wanted to keep it short and sweet today, but that is a very, very important step for many of you. I really urge you to do the exact same process I've just outlined here and avoid those 4 mistakes. And of course, if you aren't already subscribed to the channel and you haven't left a like on this video yet, can you please go down and leave me a like if you've enjoyed this one? It lets me know what kind of content you guys like to see more of. And also while you're down there, you can join my free Telegram, which I'm posting daily updates on my 0 to 10K challenge. So that's where the real alpha and the real source is being given out at the moment. And of course, you can find my Twitter and Instagram and everything down there as well. I hope this has been helpful, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.